Bill 316 wouldn't just raise the minimum wage, it's also raising concern from the island community. During the second round of hearings at the Guam legislature, 77-year-old Aston resident Armando Dominguez spoke on the impact the first minimum wage increase several years ago had on he and his co-workers while working at one of the island's hotels. He says on the surface, the proposal sounds good.
But to them, their benefit were cut short. Instead of working now for 5 years to have some benefit, they have to work 10 years. And then their overtime, and to my regret, some of them were dismissed.
Also speaking out against Bill 316 was multi-million-dollar developer Al Israel. The former senator says the measure is basically a law of politics, telling lawmakers raising the minimum wage will come at a cost.
A 2.85 cent increase per hour. That's a fortune. That's a lot of money. But what no one is telling them is the fact that government of Guam is going to come and take 1/3 of it as taxes.
He adds after taxes, the net into the pocket of the wage earner will actually be less, about $1.92, less than what's actually being proposed. Israel says for businesses, they would incur more costs above the proposed $2.85 increase over the next 3 years. For Mark Baldiga, he appreciates the spirit of Bill 316.
However, both as a businessman and as the chairman of GVB, I must oppose Bill 316 because despite its good intentions, this bill will cause layoffs of minimum wage earners and will directly harm the very people it is intending to help.
The Guam Visitors Bureau chairman and Baldiga Group president further called the measure, quote, an equal opportunity destructor that would, quote, wreak havoc on businesses and minimum wage earners. In the past 3 years, he's seen his company expand to 9 companies, employing 300 employees. However, had a bill like this passed before then, he believes he couldn't have started any of those companies.
All along Hotel Road, our service will go down as our prices go up. I can guarantee you that. It is absolutely the most absurd way of thinking to imagine that raising the minimum wage, resulting in lower service and higher cost, would somehow help or grow our tourism-based economy. It's just silly.
Baldiga says jobs would be cut, cultural practitioners would be impacted, and service levels would fall. Many of these findings were revealed from an informal survey GVB conducted with its membership last week. Among the findings, 674 jobs would be lost as a result of Bill 316, just based on 1/3 of GVB's membership. GVB General Manager Carl Pangilinan.
In this current environment, it is not the time to raise costs, which would lead to higher prices and a decline in our visitor industry.
And while GVB represented one of the larger organizations, even small businesses came out against the measure. Ocean Jet Club President Mima Iwana expressed her frustration.
I can't sleep with this, thinking about this Bill 316.
She told lawmakers that raising the minimum wage to $10.10 could lead some to believe that entry-level earning is simply enough. For her, Bill 316 would hit her business hard.
We cannot increase the retail price. So what this bill passed, what's going to happen? The bottom will suffer. Our net profit will suffer. When net profits suffer, what's going to happen? We will lose the budget to training people. We will lose the safety, number one issue, and we will also lose providing a quality facility and equipment.
It was last week when the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce and Bank of Guam President Lulian Guerrero expressed her support of the measure. The Guam Chamber of Commerce, along with the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, meanwhile, joined those who had concerns firmly opposing the measure. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Ken Quintanilla.